from previous lecture. Now remaining part is the of potential energy and total energy. Here firstly we take vector analysis theorem, that is necessary and sufficient condition that the work done W1 to be independent of physical part taken by the particle is that f the gradient, that is del, of some scalar function of position, that is f equal to minus gradient of v of r, that is del v of r, where v be potential energy or potential. Now multiply by dr, therefore f dr equal to minus del v of r dr. Take del as d by dr, therefore we can write here minus dv by dr into dr. Now for conservative system, the work done W1 to equal to integration from 1 to 2, from position first to second point, that is f dot dr equal to integration from minus 1 to 2. F dot dr is, that is here in above case we can write here, for here dr gets cancelled, we get minus dv, therefore we can write here minus dv, and derivative and integration gets cancelled, and therefore we get v, that is minus v from 1 to 2. First we put upper limit, that is we can write here minus in bracket v2 minus lower limit, that is v1, multiply by minus sign, in bracket we get w1 to equal to v1 minus v2. Now by previous equation, here w12 was t2 minus t1, and therefore combine these two equations, we can write here w12, that is t2 minus t1 equal to v1 minus v2. Take one part left side and right side, and two part right side, we get the t2 plus v2 equal to t1 plus v1, that is we get conservative law of energy. Here if force acting on particle are conservative, then total energy is, that is t plus v is conserved. T plus v is conserved, where t is kinetic energy, v is potential energy. We get here t plus v equal to total energy. Now in this lecture we take second article, that is mechanics of system of the particles. That is after single particle we generalize previous ideas to system of the particle. We consider two types of forces, that is external force and internal force. That is external force acting on particle, and the internal force on some ith particle due to all other particles of the system. The equation of motion for a single particle, we know Newton's second law, that is F equal to P dot, and for the equation of motion for ith particle, that is system is of n particles. Suppose system is of n particles, we take for ith particle, that is here we can write, that is by using internal and external force, that is momentum, in momentum, that is summation I and j from 1 to n, Fij plus Fie, that is external force, equal to Pi, I from 1 to n. Suppose this is equation first, that is by single particle F equal to P dot, and we can write here F equal to external force plus internal force plus external force. Therefore for ith particle we can write here, that is summation from I and j from 1 to n, Fij plus Fie, that is Fij is internal force, Fie is external force, equal to Pi dot, I from 1 to n. Suppose this is equation first, where this Fij here mentioned here, where Fij, summation Fij I from 1 to n, this is internal force on ith particle due to the jth particle. and Fi, that is external force acting on ith particle. Now we know linear momentum for single particle is p, and for ith particle it becomes pi, and we know p equal to m into v, therefore pi equal to mi into vi. But vi is rate of change of displacement, that is dri by dt, and therefore we can write here pi equal to mi into dri by dt. Now we have pi dot, that is dpi by dt, that is take differentiate this equation with respect to t. We get here that is pi dot equal to dpi by dt, that is pi dot equal to d by dt of m vi, here dri dt equal to vi, and therefore we can write pi dot equal to d square by dt square of mi ri. And now this is, that is for Newton's second law for ith particle. Sum of all particles I from 1 to n, the equation first becomes, our equation first becomes, that is summation I from 1 to n of summation ij from 1 to n Fij plus, that is internal force, plus external force Fie equal to summation over I from 1 to n pi dot. And now summation take for internal force and external force, that is take summation I from 1 to n on both forces. Summation I from 1 to n, summation I and j from 1 to n Fij, that is external force, plus summation I from 1 to n internal force, that is Fi of E, equal to summation I from 1 to n, put value of pi dot, that is d square by dt square of mi ri. Suppose this is equation second. Now we assume that Fij, this Fij obeys Newton's third law of motion, that is action and reaction. The forces exerted by two particles on each other are equal and opposite. Therefore here Fij plus Fji is 0, and we can write here, therefore summation I is not equal to j from 1 to n, Fij becomes equal to 0, and summation I from 1 to n Fii equal to 0, that is force of particle on same particle is equal to 0. Now note that the external force, total external force is denoted by Fe, and this Fe is nothing but summation I from 1 to n Fi of E, that is summation of all forces of all particles is nothing but total force Fe, and we can write here by using this equation. Now equation second becomes, that is Fe, external force Fe equal to means above equation, that is equation second, this equation second, here this term becomes 0, and this summation of Fi equal to F of E, that is total external force. We can write this equation as Fe external force, total external force Fe equal to d square by dt square of summation I from 1 to n mi ri, that is d square by dt square, take left side right side left, we can write d square by dt square summation I from 1 to n mi ri equal to F external force. Suppose this is equation third. Now we take new vector r, that is which is average of the radii vector of the particles, such as ri equal to summation I from 1 to n mi ri upon summation of mi I from 1 to n, and this summation I from 1 to n, we can write here that is addition of masses is nothing but capital M, which is total mass. Therefore R equal to summation I from 1 to n mi ri upon capital M. Suppose this is equation 4, where here summation of mi equal to capital M, that is the total mass, and R defined the center of mass, and it is also called center of gravity of system. Suppose for two particles, center of mass for two particles. Here we take one radius vector r1, second radius vector r2, and resultant radius vector is r1, that is r equal to r1 plus r2 with the masses m1 and m2. We can write here r equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 upon m1 plus m2. Similarly, here we write the r equal to, for n particles, summation I from 1 to n mi ri upon summation of mi, that is capital M. Now transfer this m on left hand side. We can write here equation that is summation of mi ri I from 1 to n equal to m into r. Here m is constant, and therefore above equation third becomes, equation third was, that is dt square by dt square summation of mi ri I from 1 to n equal to Fe, that is total external force. This equation becomes, that is we put this value of this mi ri, that is this equation becomes, that is m d square by dt square of r equal to total external force Fe. Suppose this is equation 5, that is we can write here the center of mass moves as if the total external force is acting on entire mass of the system of concentrated at the center of mass. Now again for Newton's second law, we can write here F external force, total external force Fe equal to P dot, and this above equation when we put value of Fe, that is P dot, this above equation number 5 becomes, that is here above equation 5 number becomes, that is P dot equal to m into d square by dt square of r, which is equal to total external force Fe. Suppose this is equation number 6. Now this is called equation of motion. Now here we can write P dot as dp by dt equal to m d square by dt square of r. Integrate this with respect to t, when derivative get cancelled on both sides. Therefore we can write P equal to md by dt of r, and therefore P equal to m dr by dt. Suppose this is equation 7, that is the P is linear momentum of system of particle. That is the linear momentum of system of particle, we can write in word, that is the linear momentum of system of particle is total mass of system times velocity of the center of mass. Total mass times velocity of the center of mass. Now here we can write by using this equation, that is law of conservation of linear momentum, by equation 6, that is by Newton's second law. P dot equal to total external force Fe, and if this force Fe is equal to total external force Fe equal to 0, then P dot equal to 0, that is dp by dt equal to 0. Now differentiate this equation with respect to t, derivative get cancelled, that is integration of dp by dt dt equal to integration of 0 dt, then here derivative integration get cancelled, and derivative of integration of 0 is constant. Therefore here we get P equal to constant. Suppose this is equation number 8. Therefore we get the total linear P is nothing but linear momentum. Therefore total linear momentum. Therefore total linear momentum conserved. We can write this law again as, if total external force Fe is 0, then the total linear momentum is conserved. Now by equation 7 and 8, that is, this is equation 8, P equal to constant, and now equation 7 was here P equal to m into dr by dt. This P is constant, therefore this m dr by dt becomes, that is, we get here m into dr by dt equal to constant, where m is constant. Therefore we can write dr by dt is equal to constant. That is, the center of mass r moves with constant velocity in the absence of external force. In this equation, F is absence, therefore F external force is absent. Therefore the center of mass r moves with the constant velocity in the absence of external force. Now the total angular momentum. We know for single particle this angular momentum was L equal to r cross p, and here for system of the particles, angular momentum L becomes L equal to summation of I from 1 to n Ri cross Pi. The same equation for this is for this was for single particle, and this is for system of particles. Therefore we can write summation I from 1 to n Ri cross Pi. Now differentiate this equation with respect to t. Therefore we can write L dot equal to summation I from 1 to n d by dt of Ri cross Pi. Using vector identity, that is, d by dt of r cross p equal to d by dt of, here put value of the momentum, that is m into v, that is d by dt of r cross m into v, where m is constant. Now by product rule of derivative, we can take derivative of the first term and second term constant, plus derivative of that is first term constant and derivative of second. We can write here d by dt of r cross p, let's write derivative of r, that is dr by dt cross second term constant, that is mv. And next, now take r constant and derivative of mv, that is r cross d by dt of mv. Now d by dt of r cross p becomes, here dr by dt is nothing but v, that is v cross m into v, and plus r cross d by dt of mv. But v is dr by dt, that is, here we take dr by dt v, that is, we know the identity for cross product, v cross v equal to 0, and therefore d by dt of r cross p equal to r cross, that is first term get cancelled, and we can write here r cross d by dt of mv, and that is, here mv is nothing but p, r cross d by dt of p, and d by dt of p, that is, we can write dp by dt, that is p dot. Here d by dt of r cross p equal to r cross p dot. Now equation second, this equation second becomes L dot equal to summation I from 1 to n Ri cross Pi dot, by equation second. This was the equation second. L dot equal to summation I from 1 to n d by dt of Ri cross Pi. In this product rule, first term gets cancelled, therefore we get L dot equal to, this was for first particle, and we write here for n particle, that is system of particle. L dot equal to summation I from 1 to n Ri cross Pi dot. Now using the equation of motion of system of particles, here this equation was summation I and j from 1 to n internal force plus external force, that is Fij plus Fie equal to Pi dot. Therefore this above equation third becomes, that is by using value of Pi dot here we write L dot equal to summation I from 1 to n Ri cross left hand side of this equation, that is summation Ij from 1 to n Fij plus Fi of E, and take cross product with Ri, we can write here L dot equal to summation Ij from 1 to n, where I is not equal to j, Ri cross Fij plus again Ri cross external force, that is summation I from 1 to n Ri cross Fie. Now consider sum of the internal cross vanishes if the internal forces are Newtonian in character. Therefore we can write here Fij equal to minus Fji, and by using Newton's third law, and here from this the first equation of this equation becomes 0. We can write here, that is the summation I from Ij from 1 to n with I is not equal to j and Ri cross Fij each becomes 0. Therefore equation 4 becomes here, that is L dot equal to first term 0, that is summation I from 1 to n Ri cross Fie, that is external force. Therefore we can write here, if the internal forces between two particles are equal and opposite also lie along the line joining the particles, then all cross products vanishes, and therefore this 4 becomes L dot equal to summation I from 1 to n Ri cross external force Fie. Now Li dot means dl by dt, we write here as again dl by dt equal to summation I from 1 to n Ri cross Fie equal to Ne, where Ne is moment of external force or torque. Thus we can write here this equation in wording form, that is time derivative of the total angular momentum. L is angular momentum. The time derivative of total angular momentum is equal to moment of external forces about given point. Moment of external forces about given point. Now by using this equation, that is dl by dt equal to Ne, by equation 5 we can write conservation of angular momentum, that is by equation 5 dl by dt equal to Ne, that is Ne is torque, total torque, that is if torque Ne is equal to 0, then left hand side becomes, that is dl by dt equal to 0, and integrate this equation with respect to t, again we get L equal to constant, derivative integration get cancelled, we get L equal to constant, and therefore we can write here, that is conservation of angular momentum. If applied torque is 0, then the total angular momentum is conserved.